Once a warm welcome as we continue our stay in KZN. Yesterday we were at Hollywood Bets at Greyville. A good day for the ownership of the naming rights, the company that is Hollywood. 4 winners on the afternoon, and now we are back there. Having spent time with the poly, we are on the turf track this afternoon, and we're looking forward to a more competitive fair as we have that 8-race program to look forward to. While we flew solo yesterday with Mr. Darren Burrows, it's the turn of Mr. Daryl Marie. His batteries are fully recharged, and we look forward to his input for the 8-race program. Don't forget, as we lead up to Classic Day on Saturday, you can use our Twitter handle, that is formerly X, or you can get in touch with us on WhatsApp. And of course, I'm sure the two learned gentlemen, Daryl and Darren, will only be too happy to engage you on what they think of the outcome, especially with those Western Cape visitors coming through: Justin Snaith, Candice Robinson. They will have on the meeting itself. Right, let's get straight into our bipod. That is the first port of call. Before we do all that, of course, it is rude of me not to say a very good morning. It was lonely without you yesterday, but welcome back, and it certainly feels like home again.
Thanks, Cecil. Thanks for having me. I hope that short break does me the world of good. Hopefully it turns around the form. No brownie points for me in the first race. I am bankering the favorite. The odds on pop in number 5, Million Voices. I believe on paper you can say she learnt a lot from her debut effort, because in her second start she showed pace, unlike her debut. She was much more keen in the early stages. So now she's got the benefit of 2 runs, and she gets some sex allowance. She is a filly, and she's going to show pace. Take note, the conditions are soft, or good to soft, Cecil. So I think she should be in front, turning for home, and I'll be bitterly disappointed if she doesn't finish in the top 2. I don't know if you heard the post-race interview from Richard Free when he was aboard Quid Pro Quo last time out. He had nothing but praise for that filly.
Yeah.
And they do rate her highly. So yeah, Million Voices with the experience, the one to beat. Take note, there is a comment from Mr. Lafferty for the Ghost in the front of the computer form, and it's very upbeat. He says she is a smart filly, and if she's not too green, will run well. So if you are playing trifectas and quartets, I think she is a must.
All right, so let's confirm what we do have. In terms of the bipod, we do have that banker confirmed by Daryl. Number 5, Million Voices, written by Kelvin last time out. In fact, he had written it the first twice, and now he's moved on to the 3, Mr. Nibbles. It'll be banker 5, and then in the 4th leg, we've got banker the 1, and that is Elegant Act. That outlays 140 Rand, and we should be underway with racing at 12:30, as Daryl said. Conditions are good to soft at Hollywood Bets Greyville as we go to the turf course this afternoon. Right, so the PA starts in race number 2. Time to take note of is 13:05. This is a maiden plate over the 1,200 meters. We've lost the 2, Future Flow. That's the scratching that came through this morning. We have 10 runners. And topping the pops is the 4, Magna Magic. That is Tony Riveland and Matthew Thackeray. They seem to be doing well as a duo. And then there's been money for the 3, Apex Predator. Garth Fuller with the services of Richard Fareed. They both come out of that Heaven's Will form line. And I think expanding on that and ready to expand on that is Mr. Marie. Now, what do we make of the 3 and the 4 here?
You have to also make a case for number 1 then, because number 1 actually beat both of them, Cecil.
Yes, sir.
Last time out. Let me just put it out there. I'm not a fan of the Heaven's Will form line. I actually had written a thesis on why Future Flow was a certainty here. But unfortunately, I woke up this morning and I saw, first of all, I saw an equipment change, which was quite pleased about. The blinkers went on, and then he was scratched. So my banker went out the window then. Yeah, Bomber Stream, Apex Predator, and Magna Magic obviously finished alongside each other. Now, Magna Magic did have excuses, and he was only having his second start. So one has to believe he's got more scope for improvement than number 1, Bomber Stream, has, who beat him last time out. So I've opted to go with him in the PA, but you have to have respect for the other 2. But like I say, I'm not really a fan of that form line, so I'm looking towards the value in the race as number 9, Teriyaki. Now, many will say, well, number 8 holds him. Gorgeous guy, but Teriyaki on that occasion was eased at a crucial stage of the race, and I actually liked his effort with the blinkers last time out. He hit the front, he looked dangerous, and he just came up for air late on that occasion. Jabu Jacobs, have a look at his strike rate for Mr. Riverland. I think they've teamed up 6 times for 3 winners. He's got enough pace to get into a prominent position. So I'm going for number 9, Teriyaki, over his stable companion, number 4, Magna Magic. But Cecil, this isn't an easy race, and if I just manage to survive the PA, I'll be very pleased with myself.
All right, so let's confirm that first leg of the PA, not the easiest start to the PA. We've got the 2 Riverland Chargers, and that is the numbers 4 Magna Magic, who seems obviously in the betting, as the stable elect, and the 9 Teriyaki Silks that we've seen quite a bit. I think Celtic Beauty races in those colours as well. That is colours of long-time owner Mrs. Mary Liney. 420 Rand, and a reminder, 1:05 is the off time to race number 2. Obviously, with the 2nd of March, just a few days away, it's apt time to remind you to look ahead to that classic meeting. It is the second leg of the Triple Crown and Triple Tiara. We're looking forward to big things. And as I said at the top of the show, we have raiders in the form of Justin Snaith and Candice Bass Robinson to challenge in the horse chestnut. She's done well in the horse chestnut in the past. And Dean has also done well when he's raided up here with a certain Free My Heart. But let's talk about race number 3. Now, we've got the scratching of the 9 Bunting. That's our latest scratching again to come through this morning. And just having a look at the current markets, we've got an odds-on favorite. We did discuss Mrs. Mary's Liney's Silks, and they are on the one Send Me. Has had the 3 runs, and it's bidding for that maiden win at the 4th time of asking. Richard Fury gets the ride. The last runner was behind Imaginable, and that form line, and does that capture your imagination, or you think it's not the best in town?
Absolutely not.
It's as if I had the answer already, eh?
Cecil, there have been 5 runners from their form line.
And nothing happened.
4 unplaced in the next start. So you can't get overly excited about the form line.
Okay.
But you can have a little bit of peace of mind in that this isn't a strong field whatsoever.
Okay.
None of these are certainly going to Hollywood. Cecil, I fancied his chances very strongly last time out. He did drift, and he found himself out of his ground turning for home. Certainly doing his best work late. He was actually closing in hand over fist. So now the blinkers get fitted from a 1 draw. I've got no doubt that he should be handier to the pace this time round. And what he meets up here, he should be very hard to beat. But there is a bit of uncertainty in that he is wearing the blinkers for the first time. If there weren't any equipment changes, I'd make him very close to a good thing like I did last time. Mm-hmm. But let's hope he settles in the running with the blinkers, and he should be the one to beat. There isn't much separating himself and a horse called Spec Magic on a line through Tibbet. What was that horse's name? Tibbet Bork.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So now, if you have a look at Spec Magic's form line, his best run to date happens to be at Greyville on the turf surface behind Attaboy. He ran 4th on that occasion, and the 2nd and the 3rd horses won directly in their next 2 starts. So I believe number 5, Spec Magic, is a danger to the favourite, and that's why I haven't banked number 7, Spec Magic. And that's a reason why I haven't banked Send Me. If you're playing trifectas and quartets, I'd probably include number 3, Mayor of Maryvale. He hasn't been moving the best to the start in his last 2 runs, but I believe the soft underfoot conditions may suit him. So I'm going 1 from 7 over here.
The Big 6, what would you do?
1 and 7. I'll put them
1
both
and
in.
7.
For those that are very bullish on the favour, I'll probably add in the scratching to double up in the first leg.
All right. So that is Mr. Marie and his thoughts of the Pick 6, which starts with race number 3. We've got the scratching of number 9, Bunting. Leaves us a field of 8 runners. And let's just confirm that Pick 6, it is starting at 13:45 and 1 and 7, as the man said. And again, just a couple of horses in the race that we are going to discuss next. And that is race number 4. Race 3 is what you need to take care of, and that is an off time of 13:45. Yet another maiden plate. That will be race number 4 at Hollywood Bets Gravel, where we are on the turf, but a scratching. You know what? It is actually very confusing. I see on certain sites number 6 is a scratching. I see on other sites that number 6 is to be partnered by Atandi Wangudwa, and this is definitely for Manu Pandaram. So we'll just treat it as an occupant to race number 4 right now, Mr. Marie, because I showed you yesterday's screen grab that I had from one of the sites. But at the moment, the 3 Tannen Princess, that is your favorite at a 22 to 10. That is for Gareth Van Sale and Richard Free yet again. 11 to 4, the 1 Elegant L. 4 to 1, the 9 Havre de Grace, and then why I'm prolonging this betting, the 12 Happy in Heaven. There has been interest. 17 to 2 into 5 to 1 Happy in Heaven. That is Wayo Mowing and Smile Kumalo.
Yes, Cecil. 2 horses in the pick 6. I've just gone the obvious 2. I do have a preference for number 1 Elegant Act. She's actually, if you go back 3 runs, she ran over this, well, on gravel. Sorry, on turf at gravel. And she was finishing strongly on that occasion. She was beaten by Mascarina. Now, if you have a look at that form line in the computer form, it will say no winners from 12 runners, which is a big concern. But if you just dig deeper into the form line, there are so many horses that have placed in the next start and unlucky in not having won. The likes of Tommy Riss, One Smart Cookie's placed. There's been a few others.
What's the horse that was beaten by Celtic Beauty?
Yeah, and then Mascarina, in her next starts, in her post-maiden efforts, she's run 2 since then. She just got touched off by Celtic Beauty, who looks to be going through the divisions. So I think that form line's actually a bit better than what it firstly appears on paper. So coupled with the draw, I think she is the right one. Now, you'll say she has been disappointing in her latest 2 starts. Those have been on the poly track, and it's never easy giving weight away in maiden handicaps. So I'm giving her one more chance. I like her as the one to beat. Respect for number 3 Tannen Princess. Now you can see she's made nice improvement in each and every one of her starts to date. She's having a peak run. They've booked the services of Richard Free. And you know that stable's absolutely flying now in Durban. They've really found good form. All that needs to happen is she needs to settle, because you can see in her last start she did take a bit of a tug. So she's got more scope for improvement than Elegant Act. But I am favouring the 1 over the 3. I'm not looking past the 2 of them.
Do you recall a few weeks ago Havre de Grace ran behind a certain Villans Queen who looked a standout on that Sunday, that form line? Has that held up since?
Yes, I was actually very impressed with her run, Cecil.
Yes.
But she is
because that was Gareth and Atandio, wasn't it?
Yes. There's a winner from their form line who beat Tommy Riss. It was called Blue Horizon.
Oh, yes, Weho Mowing and Mr. Dihaba.
Dihaba. Take note, Mr. Dihaba now claims
1.5.
1.5.
1.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like I say, she is held by Sweeter Than Honey on that run. And Sweeter Than Honey is held by the favourite. So 1 and 3 should suffice.
1 and 3. Let's crack on with the selection for race number 4. It is the first jackpot to get underway. 1 and 3 by the field, by 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, and then it's just the 2 horses in race number 7, 3, and 6, and they are Pray for Rain, and the 6 would be Coiner Spinner. So let's get to the second half of this 8-race program. It starts with race number 5, and this is where the handicaps kick in. And it's a lowly Felix Mare 69 that awaits us. So race number 5 is over the staying trip of 2,200 meters. And I'm happy to say right now, there are no scratchings that are showing up, and there is no mystery at all involved in race number 5. Well, one thing that is for sure is that the winner is a bit of a mystery. Betting quite open. 12, the apple of my eye, anti-post, into 33 to 10, sir.
Interesting, Cecil. You know, this is a Varfali. I don't know much about her dam side, if there's stamina on the dam side, but I mean, he's a sprinting sire, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Although he did win the Oaks once upon a
yes,
time with
yeah.
Jeff Woodruff,
Princess of Light.
Princess of Light
Yeah.
for the Devachanders.
That's
Yes.
correct, yeah. You can see Richard Free rode Columbia Road last time out
Uh-huh.
and has opted for the apple of my eye over here. Yeah, Cecil, you know, there's quite a few in this lineup that are unexposed over distance. They are trying further for the first time and they could be more effective now that they're trying the extended trip. So I found this race as a field event. Hot Strike is in good form.
Yeah.
Manic Monday. Now, he has a daughter by Elusive Fort out of a Silvano mare. If there is ever breeding that's going to get this distance, I think she falls into that category. She has been off the track for just on 2 months, so I don't know her well-being, but I think she is certain to get the extra. Then you got the likes of Last Ginger, number 4. I mean, Waya is a I like to call him the king of the stayers
times, yes.
training ranks.
Oh, definitely.
But others disagree with me. You know, Brevin Plakies takes 4 kilograms off the back and she's only got 50.5 to shoulder. If she appreciates the extra, I think she could cause a bit of a upset. Number 3, Columbia Road, by Flower Alley out of a Street Cry.
Yeah.
She's having a peak run. I'm going to be leaning towards number 3, Columbia Road, because the stable is in such good form. She's having her third run off the rest. I think there's a lot in her favor. She runs well at Greyville. I think her 2 wins to date have been at Greyville on this on the turf. So 3, my top pick, but I went field in exotics.
And I see with that Hot Strike form line of Columbia Road's a good healthy weight turnaround. Huh?
Yes, and she was returning from a layoff on that occasion, and now she's having a peak run. So there is a possibility that Hot Strike confirms that form, but like I say, I'm not overly confident with anything over here.
All right, Ms. Marie, let's confirm out that it is the race number 5, the first leg of Jackpot 2, and we should be underway with this lovely fillies a mare 69 at 14.55, and there it is confirming 1 to 12 in that first leg. That would be the field, Ms. Marie.
Cecil, I've just realized something. Mr. Free can't do 53.5. Well, he can if he wants to waste, but I think that's the reason why he's opted for the apple of my eye.
Okay, so the conspiracy theorist has been working overtime in the last 2 minutes to make sure his conspiracies have been confirmed, and perhaps it is a weight issue. But it is 360 Rand, 14.55 the off time to race number 5. Right, let's get to race number 6. This is the 6th of 8, so this is the last chance to get involved in a pick 3 this afternoon at Hollywood Bets Greyville. And of course, as I always ask off air, now I can ask on air, what would a preview to a race meeting be without a Daryl Marie pick 3? Certainly would be a lot poorer, but this afternoon he's kindly suggested a pick 3 for us. There's a short price favorite. It's number 2, Sky Tricks, and that is at 37 to 20. That is Tristan Godden and Mike Miller, 33 to 10, the 6 Sovereign Grant. 9 to 2, the 3 Stingray, and then again another one who's been nibbled at number 4, and that is a fairy trip for Glenn Cotton and Muzieni. That's now into 11 to 2. Scratch there's a 7, she can. That leaves us a field of 9, Miss Marie.
Yes, we do have input from Darren Burrows.
Yes.
This is the horse that he's tipped the viewers for the day, number 2, Sky Tricks.
Okay.
You know, you can see she's well related, Cecil, and she's likely raced, only having her 4th start. So there's a lot of upside with her. You can see in her penultimate start when she ran over the course and distance, there's quite a few winners from that form line. So well drawn. Stapley elect. Mr. Miller's got a few in the race over here.
Yeah.
And Tristan has opted to take his chances aboard number 2, Skytrix. So I'll give her a strong winning chance. Stingray, you know, she's never really featured when trying further. And now she goes over 1400 once again. But she's never disgraced herself. Back over a mile, a few runs, well, quite some time ago, over a mile, it was on the poly track. She did finish second to Foreshore. And she has tried 1900 before and only been beaten 6 lengths. So I don't think the 1400 is our ideal trip, but she can feature. I mean, it's a handicap.
Yes.
Fairy Trip had excuses in her last start. Penultimate start was on the poly track. I think she's better on the turf surface. I've put her in. Epic Views come nicely down in the ratings. Not a bad effort last time out with the blinkers. If she can get into the race from a neat draw, she could feature. And then don't discount number 10's chances of her. Kiss Horton. Or how do you pronounce it?
You know what? I actually said I'll leave it to you because I actually made a blunder of the first time the other day. Too legit to quit. I don't know what I was calling it. And I had so many messages. Oh, Lord. Yeah.
Oh, you're asking the wrong person because
Yeah.
I battled to pronounce anything. Yeah, I mean, she's done absolutely nothing wrong. Well, not done nothing wrong. She's only having a fourth start. And she'll be given a chance and she can rattle home. I think she's gonna certainly love the step up in trip, and I actually feel that this filly will win her races once she gets to 10 furlongs.
Yeah.
So Cecil,
Quite
fillies
a
and mares
nomination.
handicap. Darren Burrows label Skytrix. Let's be with him.
Okay, let's go with Mr. Burrows. Let's confirm what we are doing with our pick 3 from a Daryl Marie perspective. It starts race number 6, and there we have it. Oh, no, beg your pardon. That is not the case. And it is Mr. Burrows' Skytrix that is the selection for race number 6. So no pick 3, but it is the last chance to get involved in a pick 3. Maybe you banker the 2 Skytrix in a race number 6. Okay, so we get to that penultimate event where we missed out on the pick 3. I can tell you we definitely have a double. So that is at least some compensation from Mr. Marie. It's a field that is, again, looking very, very open, but the computer form seemed to have got it right more often than not. There, a featured picture in the front is a coin spinner, who is quite easy to back right now at 5-1. Coin spinner is, in fact, at 5-1, a joint favorite with the 3 Pray for Rain and the 5 Sunblushed, as well as the 9 Hit Them Hard Sunshine. That's the sort of race we have here.
Yeah, this is a Pinnacle Stakes, and the best weighted happens to be number 3 of your Pray for Rain. And then number 5, Sunblushed.
Yes.
Second best in, 1 kilogram worse off. Cecil, you know this was Pray for Rain. He's in cracking form at the moment. And he should reverse the form with Captain Bombshell. Now, if you go back a few runs to the 1st of October over this very same course and distance, you'll see he ran second to Coin Spinner, and I think he's half a kilogram worse off. So on that run alone, Coin Spinner should have the beating of him. But have a look at the draws. There is a turnaround in the draws. He jumped from stallgate number 10 on that occasion. Now he's better drawn in 3. Whereas Coin Spinner jumped from stallgate number 1 and he's now 6. But I think Coin Spinner at Greyville is certainly at his best. You can see he's been here 9 times for 4 victories. He's won from one of the course and distance. 3rd run after a rest. Richard Free in the irons. He over the very same course and distance that he got the better of Pray for Rain over. So I'm not looking past the 2 of them. I'm actually going to go with the 2 of them to fight it out.
3 and 6, that is.
3 and 6. But if you are playing trifectas and quartets, I'd look at number 8 of here, Good Traveller.
They've taken their
boost
time with
the
this one,
dividend.
huh?
Yeah, the tongue tie is off.
Yeah.
If you in that very same race, behind Coin Spinner on the 1st of October, he has to be a player.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a shock to see him turn around that form, but he hasn't seen the winner's enclosure for more than 2 years. So that is a concern. But add number 8 in your trifectas and quartets.
Yes, a Good Traveller certainly did well as a 2-year-old, got early black type, and certainly went back to Cape Town, I think, won a race or 2, and then things just went off the rails. But let's confirm that double from Mr. Marie. That is a race 7 on to race 8. It is 3 and 6. Pray for Rain and Coin Spinner on to 1, 2, and 3. That would be Don't Shoot the Bombin', Stanley Park, and the 3 Planian. That is the 3 horses that make up race number 8, the second leg of the last double.